It's time for your daily dose of all things Chicago sports. This is the Daily Score. Now, here's your host, Mark Grote.
Hello, welcome in, and we are fresh off of the Bears' 30-13 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. I am Mark Grote. This is the Daily Score. Thanks for tuning in. Tyson Bagent on this night was 25 of 37, 232 yards. He had a couple of picks in this game. He looked like a rookie at times. He looked like a backup at times. He also floated a few really beautiful passes in this contest. Right from the very beginning of the game, Tyson Bagent had a 41-yard pass to Darnell Mooney that was put there on the spot, but where he needed to, showed that he's got an arm. I don't know if we call it a rocket. There were still times, even within the game, that I still questioned his arm strength and where it is specifically, just making me nervous on a couple of his throws. So that could have been picks that just sort of developed in slow motion, it felt like. Not in terms of the release or anything like that, but just in terms of the zip and the arc of the ball at times, the velocity even. So, but I don't know. Maybe that's something that we should just stop questioning in terms of Tyson Bagent. So good moments, not so good moments for him for sure. He definitely did not do anything, Tyson Bagent, that is, to make me say or think, well, I don't know, man. Maybe they need to, if Justin Fields is healthy, maybe Bagent gets one more start. No, he did not get there. He did not get there with me. And, I thought that, while there was good, that first pick for Bagent in the second quarter, it's 14-0 Chargers. Bagent picked on a 3rd and 8, and that was rough because the game was still in the balance. I mean, this game got out of hand quickly, but there were still moments, even down 14-0 in the NFL in the first half, that you still feel like you're going to come back. So Bagent was fine. My coworker Patrick Manley, former Bear, put it pretty well. I thought he said he wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible, but and there were certainly moments, but that's what we're all sort of wanting to know. Is there something here? Is there something here? And if there's something here, I don't know that it needs to be explored further if Justin Fields is 100% healthy. That's the way I will put it for him. As far as Justin Fields is concerned, I do not know if he'll play at New Orleans on Sunday, but I feel like he could be back for that game. I really do. Despite the Bears being 2-6 and the Saints being a very good defense. It's what I'm feeling, and I will obviously let you guys know throughout the week what the very latest is on a daily basis with Justin Fields. But he did not get Wally pipped. He's not losing his job. As a matter of fact, Khalil Mack, just paraphrasing him, showed some respect for Tyson Bagent, but said he was glad that number one was not playing. That would be Justin Fields. So, he's a game changer, especially for defensive ends who would like to sack the quarterback. And instead, they are able to contain somebody. But that's still what it's always been. The respect is still there for Justin Fields. Man, I don't know where else you go with this game. Very sloppy. Penalties early. At one point in time, Lucas Patrick had back-to-back penalties. The defense was not good on this night. The 30 points were the 30 points. You know what I mean? Sometimes you really got to look at circumstances, but the defense just was not good for the Bears on this night. I mean, right from the very beginning of the game. And look, Austin Eckler is a very good player. He's a guy that's capable of getting 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving, but that Justin Herbert to Austin Eckler, 39-yard play where TJ Edwards had the whiff of the tackle on there. I mean, that is not a good look early on in that game. Eckler had a 23-yard screen later on. So, but look, he's dangerous. keep in mind that Herbert is, he's an elite quarterback. I think some people still debate that, but he was 31 of 40, 298 yards on the night, 3 touchdowns for Herbert. And the part that sucks about it is, and this is not the first time that this has happened this year, this was like a get well game for the Chargers, even for Justin Herbert. Herbert had not been outstanding in the previous couple of weeks. And so, yeah, they were even mentioning it during the broadcast. Boy, he's eating here, I actually don't think that they were angling it towards the Bears or the get well team. That's what I'm doing right now. If you need to feel better about yourselves, the Bears do have some specials going on right now. And one of those was last night, the Chargers 30-13 win over the Bears. And hey, good for Herbert. He got right. Eckler only playing in his 4th game this year. Oh, the Chargers had lost 2 in a row coming into this game. Oh, Joey Bosa didn't have a sack in his last 2 games, and he had one of consequence. And I think he just had the 1 sack. But Bosa, that was it's a big-time sack that he had. I'm talking about early in the game. Game starts for the Bears, first play from scrimmage. Let's not just, I'm talking to myself. Mark, let's not just gloss past that. That was pretty awesome. The Tyson Bagent 41-yard bomb to Darnell Mooney to start the game. That was in some ways, that was a giant middle finger to all of us. And some of you, everybody that has questioned his arm strength or Luke Getsy's ability to, wind this guy up and throw him downfield. And I'll be damned if they didn't connect beautifully on the very first play of the game. So I absolutely loved it. And it looked like Darnell Mooney could have actually scored on that play. Nobody touched him. Still nobody touched him. Some bad reffing in this game. But Bosa, then after that, and you're all excited about that. And ultimately, it's Joey Bosa beating Cody Whitehair to end that series. You got to score 3 at least. I'm not even asking for 6 anymore. Give me 3 at that point. And that you get that's like, we should have known. I should have known at that point that it was going to be a bad game. When you don't convert anything on a drive where you start with a 41-yard pass, and I'm getting more angry after the fact here as far as that's concerned. Let me get to a few more things here. There'll be so much talk on Tyson Bagent, and I'll continue to do it. There'll probably be more tomorrow and the next day, and Justin Fields as well. So that we'll resume that conversation throughout the week. But a few more things on the game tonight. It was a rough one for Velus Jones Jr. Slipped and fell in the end zone, wide open in the end zone with the ball in the air. Still almost made the catch on the ground, but did not. He also had a fair catch interference call. So some rough moments, man. Like, you're just talking about it. Like, they're just things like never look right around him, around Velus Jones Jr. Something just is always errant. Something is always something that is not fitting correctly. So, and it happened twice, those sort of circumstances for Velus Jones in this game. I didn't like that Tremaine Edmonds had a knee injury. That didn't look good to me. Well, hopefully we'll get an update on what's going on with all of that. I thought that one of the things that I thought was symbolic of a rough evening for the Bears was the Velus Jones Jr. or not Velus Jones Jr. He was symbolic, I guess you could say, as well. But I'm talking about the 4th and 1. Do you know the 4th and 1 that I'm talking about? The 4th and 1, 3:52 to go in the third quarter, 27-7 Chargers. So you're in desperation mode, and it's your last gasp of this game, basically. 4th and 1. You're on your own 29. So and this is not building up to don't go for it. Of course, go for it. They pitched to Roshan Johnson, and just nothing nothing out of that. And that was one of those times where I'm not putting that on the offensive line. Roschon Johnson, I don't know what was going on. Like, it was like he hesitated. And the reason he's getting the ball in that spot is because that's what he's supposed to be able to do. Like, he's a physical player. So I couldn't let that one slide. That was a little bit disappointing. But so many things to pick through in terms of this game. A disappointing loss for the Bears. They fall to 2-6. And we shall see how things progress with the quarterbacks going forward. Like I said, I think Justin Fields will start, but that is not for me to determine. Thank you guys for listening, as you always do, to this podcast, The Daily Score. We appreciate it. We're getting some really good feedback from everybody and even from within the podcast community. So thank you all for that. Thank you to Ray Diaz, who is the executive producer of this podcast. I am Mark Grote. It's The Daily Score. I'll talk to you tomorrow.